two first-base vote-getters in this year's Midsummer Classic will meet on one field. Jose Abreu, El Canon, has and continues to terrorize opposing pitchers in his rookie campaign. And Miguel Cabrera comes to the South Side as one of the most feared sluggers of all time. The outfield stands could be the hottest ticket this evening. It's the first of four. Sox-Tigers next. We are coming to you from the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Jose Abreu, Adam Dunn, Alexa Ramirez in the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Miguel Cabrera, Victor Martinez, and the tough Detroit Tigers. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrelson as we get set to bring you the first of this four-game set and the first of this 10-day, 9-game homestand. We'll have four with these guys, three with Kansas City. Finish it off with two against San Francisco. So the Sox coming off that 6-game West Coast trip where we won 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers. We were swept by the Angels. Coming home, it could have been better than that, but it wasn't. But tonight, a man who's been pitching better and better every time out there, Noesi on the bump for us.
Last time out, Hector won his first game in over 2 years, and he was pretty tough in Los Angeles. Now, he walked more guys than he would want to with 4 walks in 6 innings. That being said, he only gave up 1 earned run. He gave up 5 hits. He struck out 6. And just getting that first win is a big relief for Hector, who's been throwing the ball about as well as you can throw it and cementing his place in the starting rotation.
Well, right now, let's check out the central standings. As you see, the Sox, right now, 4.5 games back of these guys. So a chance right here to make up some ground with this 4-game set. But to do that, we've got a couple of guys we've got to get by.
Those guys in the middle of this lineup are as devastating as any twosome around. It starts with Miguel Cabrera. He left the ball game early last night, and there was some thought that he might not be able to go to the post. Well, that's been dashed. He's a designated hitter tonight, and he's hit everything in sight. Victor Martinez, another guy, a switch hitter. This guy's one of the best clutch hitters in all of baseball. You look at those numbers, they just jump out at you. 14 home runs. This is a guy who struck out 15 times, hit 14 home runs, and it doesn't get much better than that.
Well, the Sox looking gain some ground in the Central, so sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. AT&T Uverse. AT&T Uverse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PIC-ATT. Rethink possible. And by Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com.
Welcome back to beautiful U.S. Cellular Field. The Tigers are in town. And Detroit leads the division by 3 games over Cleveland. Let's take a look at how Brad Osmus is going to line up his Tigers tonight. It's going to be Kinsler, Kelly, and Cabrera at the top with Martinez, and Castellanos in the middle. Then Jackson, Avila, and Suarez rounded out. The key defensive setup and how they'll line up behind Hector Nuese, left to right, Diaz, Eaton, and Viciedo in the infield. Gillespie, Ramirez, Beckham, and Abreu. Tyler Flowers with the nod behind the plate. And our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher is Hector Nuese, starting his 8th game of the year. Last time out, he won his first game in nearly 2 years. So he should be pretty psyched up for this against the #1 team in the division. And the Tigers have been very good on the road. They are 17-11 away from home. So it looks like we're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Stevie, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox Baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us for the first of this 4-game set and the first of this 9-game homestand. Ian Kinsler will lead it off for the Tigers. 31-year-old second baseman. Comes in hitting at .293, and Nuese's first pitch taken for a strike. Kinsler is a good first ball fastball hitter, and he got a first ball fastball.
Somewhat surprising that he took it because it was held high.
I know it. There's another one, and that's a can of corn.
And the umpires for the game tonight. Jeff Nelson, the crew chief behind the plate. Las Diaz is at first. Mark Carlson is at second, and Mike Everett is at third.
So here's Don Kelly, 34-year-old veteran. He's been a good all-purpose player for this club. Kelly hitting at .261, no homers. He's driven in 3. Got to try to find a way to get Hector through these first couple of innings. There's a strike. And another one. This is the 7th meeting of the year between these two clubs. First 6, we have won 2 of them. He did not go.
Appeal to Mike Everett. He said no. And wind, not too much of a factor.
Yet.
What little there is blowing straight in, however, but it's not going to affect much.
Ate him up, hit him on the fist. Easy play. 2 down.
He set him up with a breaking ball, then threw a fastball inside. Perfect pitch because it's inside off the plate. And at 94, very few hitters can get their hands out, and he didn't get a whole lot of it.
And here comes the best hitter in the game. And one of the best hitters this game's ever seen. Miguel Cabrera. Hitting at .326, 11 homers, 51 knocked in. Takes that pitch downstairs. This year against us, he is 10 for 26 with a homer and 6 knocked in.
And against Nuese, you can see 2 for 5 with a home run. He's probably got comparable numbers to those against a whole lot of pitchers in either league.
There are a whole lot of pitchers in either league. You got a lot better numbers than that against. This guy is something. What a joy to watch him hit.
Not from 60 feet 6 inches. It's not.
Yeah, and not when they got a Sox uniform out there on the mound.
Nope. Nope. Against the White Sox, lifetime under 300, which is somewhat surprising. That being said, 24 home runs, 69 driven in 113 games.
Well, in the past when we pitched him in, pounded him in there, you know what I mean by pounding, like that. When we pounded him in there, we've had good success against him. When we tried to trick him and go away, he just beat our brains out. But a 1-2-3 inning after half inning of play, a Sir Guys nothing, and the good guys coming to bat.
Leading it off, and it's Gordon Beckham, Connor Gillespie, Jose Abreu in the 4 spot with Adam Dunn, the DH, Alexei Ramirez, Dan Vicieto, Alejandro Diaza, who was on a doubles bin from the West Coast, and Tyler Flowers rounding it out. The key defensive setup and how they'll line up behind Porcello: Martinez, Jackson, and Kelly in the outfield, with Castellanos, Suarez, Kinsler, and Victor Martinez in the infield. Alex Avila gets a nod behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Rick Porcello. On for his 12th start, he's 8-3, 3.69 ERA. As you can see, he's got pretty good control. He has allowed 8 home runs. That's not a bad total in 70 2/3 innings.
Well, he is a seasoned veteran, and he's just 25 years old.
It's hard to believe that he was able to make the team as a relative baby in this game and stay in the starting rotation all these years.
And before we show you our picks to click you at home, select yours. As here's Adam hitting at .251, a homer he's driven in 17, and he takes first pitch strike.
Porcello has changed in that he used to throw all sinkers, and he would get a whole lot of ground balls, and when he missed with it, he was in trouble. Now he's throwing a lot of 4-seam fastballs and throwing a lot of fly balls, except in situations where he needs a ground ball.
He's a good pitcher.
Well, he started to do that to combat the left-handers, who were hitting him pretty well because most left-handers like the ball down. Now against the lefties, he's keeping the ball up a lot.
Breaking ball.
That curveball nobody's going to hit, and he has what he calls a slider, which is actually kind of a cutter to go with it.
Sox come in hitting at .255 as a club with a 4.31 ERA. Tigers hitting .271 as a club with a 4.01 ERA. The only stat, though, that really concerns me, we have 52 errors, they have 38. And if they're going to catch the ball better than we are, we're not going to beat them. There's a line drive. Get down. It will. Yes, and he gets by it. So now he is flying going around second base, and he will be held at third with a leadoff triple. That's his second triple of the season.
J.D. Martinez took a gamble, and he came up short on the gamble. And around second base, it looked like Adam Eaton was thinking about scoring. This rolling breaking ball about knee high, and he slices it to the opposite field, and then Martinez thought he had a shot. But after missing it, he let it get by him, and Adam was off to the races with the thought of an inside the Parker, but he's held up at third, and wisely so, with nobody out.
So here's Beckham. Gordon at 288, 4 homers. He's driven in 12. Infield back. At second and short. Gordon has faced Porcello 29 times, has 12 hits, 11 of which stayed in the park.
And they are conceding the run in the middle infield. They are way back there.
One and one to count. And here at the ballpark, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center. Stops that one foul. So the count is 1-2. And now you might see Porcello employing that two-seamer.
Gordon doesn't have a sacrifice fly this year, but he's looking for something that he can just hit a ground ball to second or short and drive home the run.
That's it. Oh, what a play by Avila. Wow, that's part skill and a whole bunch of luck.
That's put the glove down and hope it sticks. Because that's the only way you're going to stop that one. That ball was way in front of home plate. Alex Avila saves a run.
That is a tremendous play by Alex.
That would have been the first wild pitch of the year for Porcello.
Full count. With Gillespie on deck. Don't help him out. Nice and easy. Boy, there's a bullet. And that's going to be a base hit. So Eaton scores, and it's 1-0 Sox.
RBI number 13 for Gordon. They're asking Porcello if he's okay. This one, it was a sinker. It's right back up the middle. It hit him off the left ankle. He seems to be okay. And the Sox have started off this division rivalry in a very good way.
Gillespie steps in, hitting it .349. No homers. He's driven in 19. He has faced Porcello 17 times, has 7 hits, 1 homer.
It's another good stop and saves a man in scoring position for the moment.
Just before Gordon hit that rocket back through the middle, I was thinking to myself, don't let that play by Avila turn out to be one of the big plays of the game.
It was a good play.
Oh,
this won't be one of the bigger plays.
Two and 0. Yeah, Steve's talked about it many times, especially sinker ballers and predominantly curveball pitchers. It takes them a while to get a feel starting off the ball.
That first inning is awfully tough for him, and that's when you have to jump on him, and that's exactly what's happened to this point.
goes to second base. So you get Beckham. Nice play by Victor. Perfect throw. 1 out. So here's El Canon. Hitting at .255, 17 homers, 47 knocked in. Jose been struggling lately, been getting himself out.
He's expanded his strike zone, probably a little over anxious. That's what he looked like in Anaheim, and he's a good enough hitter and a smart enough hitter to correct that.
Takes first pitch strike at 91. Short lead by Gillespie. That ball hit high and deep in the right field, but Kelly is there. 2 down. So with 2 out, let's check out our picks to click tonight. DiMangio, our director and the crew. They went with Tank. Steve's going with Gillespie. And Mark Zucker and his terrific staff. Mark was the director of operations for Levy Restaurants here at U.S. Cellular Field. We're going to go with Adam Dunn. Boy, do they put out some tremendous food. Adam comes in, 11 homers, 28 knocked in. 7 for 22 lifetime off Porcello. The 2 homers.
Last 4 games, Adam has taken advantage of a few things. Number one, he's used left field a couple of times, and that has enticed some of the pitchers to come into him with a fastball. Those he hit out of the park.
Well, that's the way you're going to do it. They get the shift on once again, especially first game of the series. If you want the ball middle in, you've got to hit some pitches, and you got to hit them to left field if you're a left-handed hitter.
Yeah, they're giving him the whole left side if he wants to drive it through. There's Brad Osmus, and in front of him, Omar Vizquel.
Future Hall of Famer, one of the greatest shortstops to ever play the game.
You think he will be a first ballot Hall of Famer?
I don't think there's any question about it. If he's not, something's wrong.
What a player he was for a long time.
I have as much confidence in Omar being a first ballot as I did in the Big Hurt being a first ballot. The only thing I thought Frank would get more or higher percentage than he did is that ball hit hard but foul. What do you wind up with, 87%? I thought he would be up there.
I was going to say, he wound up with enough percentage where it wasn't in doubt.
Yeah, well, that's exactly. But I was thinking he'd be up there about 93, 94, 95%. He was at 83.7, so 84. Yeah. Shame on the ones who didn't vote for him. As he gets him, but the leadoff triple, the single, and after 1 it is 1-0 Sox.
All-Star balloting for the National League. Giancarlo Stanton, as you can see, having a very good year. Yasiel Puig with a lot of votes. Troy Tulowitzki with a whole lot of votes, leading the pack, along with David Wright, Chase Utley, Adrian Gonzalez, Yadier Molina, and Carlos Gomez, who is coming on a whole lot of people's radar as one of the 5 or 10 best players in the game. And you can vote now, and we urge you to vote and send as many Sox players as you can to the All-Star game.
Well, there's 2 for sure that should be there.
And they're both second in the balloting at this point.
Alexei has been our MVP this year. Abreu has just lit everybody up as our rookie, breaking rookie records. In case you've been in case you've been abroad, did not hear, he broke the rookie record for most homers and RBIs in the month of April. But here's a man who can hit too. 329, 14 homers, 38. One of the best 7th, 8th, and 9th inning hitters in the game. Between Cabrera, as we talked about. And I mentioned it last year, Victor Martinez is going to give Cabrera a ton of protection.
Well, the most amazing stat is, along with the 14 home runs, only 15 strikeouts.
That ball hit hard. There was a mistake. Adam. Yes! 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 Beautiful catch. Beautiful jump. Beautiful route. 1 out.
Martinez gets most of this, but fortunately not all of it. It's a rolling breaking ball, and Adam Eaton, with about 2 steps to spare, able to run it down in the gap, taking away at least 2 bases.
Didn't think he could get there.
What a terrific center fielder he's been, and Victor Martinez, a little surprised, I believe, that one was caught.
He was.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, that was fun to watch. So here's J.D. Martinez. He was on a phenomenal pace. Toledo. Having hit 10 home runs in just a very limited amount of at-bats. They called him up. He's got 3 up here.
They called him up to give some protection to Victor Martinez, but Victor has been intentionally walked 10 times, far and away the most on the ball club.
Well, what Brad Ausmus has in that situation is pretty good. You got Miguel and you got Victor. So who can handle hitting 3rd and who can handle hitting 4th the best? And with those 2 guys, either or is the best. Either or. Sometimes you'll have a guy who is better off being protected than being to protector. But Victor, he can handle it. Not that Miguel couldn't. He could too.
No, I think both of them.
So it's either or.
Yeah. I think he probably figures before the season's over, Cabrera's going to have many more home runs than Martinez, although he doesn't at the moment. But he will, and because of that, you want to see him come to bat in the 1st inning. Hence the 3 spot.
Well, as a rule, a guy who hits behind the guy, if he's going to be the protector, is not going to have the pitches to hit the guy. I know when I played with Cleveland, Alvin Dark was the manager. We had Tony Horton and myself, and he put us both together. He sat us down and said, okay, which one of you guys wants to hit 3rd? Which one of you guys wants to hit 4th? So we just looked at him. He gone. And then he explained what I just mentioned about that. So I think inevitably what we did, we just flipped a coin. And Tony was hitting third, and I wound up hitting fourth. And Tony had a good year. Of course, he was going to have a good year anyway because he was a good hitter.
Well, both of these guys are going to have good years.
Yeah.
And it really depends on who you can get behind Victor to protect him. And right now, they just don't have that kind of protection behind Martinez.
And the ball hit hard. Castellanos. And it is a beautiful catch by Adam Eaton on the leadoff hitter Victor Martinez after an inning and a half. We lead at 1-0.
Our game. And at first base and shortstop, two we're very interested in. Miguel Cabrera leads by a wide margin over Abreu. And Alexei Ramirez is getting pretty close to Derek Jeter. Not all that far apart. Just a little over 160,000 or so.
Well, there's not been, counting everything, as I've said, 3 weeks now. Counting the leather and the lumber, there has not been a better shortstop in Major League Baseball than Alexei Ramirez. The range he has shown, and he and Gordon have turned some double plays that aren't supposed to be turned. And here he is. Driving in big runs. He's got 7 homers and 36 RBIs.
Pretty good thought to show bunt and get Castellanos to move in a couple of steps. Right now, he is probably a step in front of the bag. That gives him a little more range to hit by.
Like I said, also 12 for 15 in stolen bases, hitting a .316. If you notice, though, the last few games, he's been getting some fastballs to hit that earlier just kill him. Now he's fouling off. He might be getting just a little bit tired because he plays every out of every inning.
Well, he wouldn't have that any other way.
No, no way. He won't sit out.
Yeah, I don't believe he's ever going to ask out of a game. So if Robin wants him, he'll probably have to sit him.
Full count. It's amazing how durable he is. And when you look at him in street clothes, it's doubly amazing.
That's a thin man.
1 out.
I think he got Avila partially on that backswing. Yep, got the glove. Fortunately for Avila, who does take a prolific beating back there, he didn't get the wrist.
Well, against us, he does.
That's everybody. Big Papi hit him in the head. Did he? Yeah. Hit him in the head with a backswing.
I'll tell you, he just, against us, he just absolutely takes a beating. I've gone to where I love it. That kid, he keeps getting back up. You keep knocking him down, he keeps getting back up.
That's it. He's their number one.
That is popped up. He's got to play. Two down.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Alejandro is looking for one of those sinkers. He wants a two-seam fastball, not the four-seamer. And in Anaheim, he started to hit the ball with authority, and he was hitting it to all fields.
Alejandro get hit a little bit. He was in that funk for him. Started off great, then went into that funk, and it took him quite a while to get out.
Let's hope by using the whole field, they'll be able to consistently stay out of it.
Boy, it's hard to use the whole field.
With that stroke, with that stance?
Yeah. It's hard. His approach to the pitch, where he stands, from where he's standing, is very hard to use. You can shove it to the left a little bit, but to hit it hard to left, tough. One and two the count. Run on 2 hits, no errors for our guys. No runs, no hits, no errors for their guys if you're just joining us. That ball's hit hard, but not hard enough. So 1, 2, 3 inning. That's 6 in a row retired by Porcello, but he trails at 1-0.
Pitchers duel on the south side. Ace Justin Verlander takes him out against John Danks, who's sporting a 1.21 ERA over his last 3 starts. Coverage starts at 6:30 with White Sox pregame live presented by Lexus of Orland. White Sox Tigers tomorrow at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet Plus.
It'll be Jackson, Avila, and Suarez, the lower third of the Tiger order.
And that is his first official Sox game. I can tell by the sign.
First pitch strike to Jackson. Jackson hitting a .252, 3 homers, 18 knocked in. Outfield slightly to the right. 1-1 to count. That ball hit hard into right field, but we get him in there, 1 out. And you can show off the colors of your alma mater at College Day on Wednesday, June 18th, with specially priced tickets for all college and university students, alumni, faculty, friends, and family. Tickets start at just $10 for lower level seats, so get your tickets by visiting whitesox.com/UNIV.
We'll be able to tell if Alex Avila is starting to come out of his offensive funk, because when he does, he drives the ball to left center field. Sometimes he really gets very pull conscious, and the infield would show you that that's pretty much what's been happening as they've used the shift on it.
And he's got surprising power to left center field. There's a strike. 1-1 to count. Right off the end of the bat. A little squibber. So he will start it off with a base hit. You can cancel the postgame show.
That's actually a very good changeup, and he had Avila well out in front of it. But with only one man home on the left side, turns into a very softly hit single.
So here's Suarez, Eugenio Suarez, the shortstop. Just 22 years old, and they tell us he can go get them at that position. Of course, he's got a great teacher.
Well, you can certainly
blessed to have him.
Yeah, and his hero was always Omar Vizquel. So when you're from Venezuela and you're a shortstop, you can't have a better hero than the man you're looking at. And Suarez is a Venezuelan.
One and one to count.
Tigers are hoping that that revolving door situation at shortstop is solved with Suarez, whose first major league hit was a home run. Probably have used a few hit and runs with Avila because he's 0 for 3 in stolen bases, and I can't believe they've run him on straight steals 3 different times.
There's a strike. Well, they got him listed as a switch hitter. He's hitting right-handed against our right-hander. Venezuela has really put out some terrific shortstops. Had one on the White Sox team for many years. A couple of them, as a matter of fact. Chico Carrasco, Luis Aparicio, Isaac Guillen. Two and two. And another foul ball. Had a great time for 3 years playing down in Venezuela. First year at Valencia and the last two at Caracas. Omar with 11 gold gloves. Ozzie Smith had 13. Only one has more. He gone. 2 down.
Second strikeout for Noesi. And he just reaches back, throws a fastball right down the middle, and throws it by him.
So here's Kinsler. He went out to Eaton in center.
He let a first ball fastball go the first time up. I wouldn't bet on it again.
I wouldn't either.
Let's look in at Tyler. There is the slider.
One of the most aggressive hitters in all of baseball.
He came over. Yeah, he came over from Texas in the deal that sent Prince Fielder to the Rangers. Fielder lost for the year after neck surgery. And Kinsler has been a solid player.
Yes, he has. He's one of the better high fastball hitters in this league. Gets jammed right there. Flips it into center field. And that'll retire the side. So a good pitch. And we'll go to the bottom of the third, leading 1-0.
236. Opponent's hitting just 239. And that's a career versus the White Sox the first time. So Porcello's getting a whole lot better. He's still very young at 25. Still has a long way to go, but he is, even at 25, a seasoned veteran.
He's a good pitcher. I mean, he's getting better and better. No question. Well, Tigers, in my opinion, they're healthy. They got the best five in the game. But it doesn't make any difference. You got to catch the baseball, number one, then you got to have a bullpen.
And their bullpen has been problematic for them.
Tyler, yeah, you can have the best five starters, which they do. You can have the greatest hitter in the game, which they do. You can have a guy to back him up, which they do. But they can still be had. But we cannot get them catching the ball the way we've been catching. Out of play. Well, 2 years ago, that's the reason I thought we were going to beat them. And on September 24th, we had a lead.
Unfortunately, picked a bad time to stop hitting.
That's right.
Very bad time.
But the reason I thought we were going to catch them because we caught the ball a lot better than they did. And we had that lead on September 24th, and we just could not knock in a run. Wound up losing by 3. That was Robin's first year. Then last year we couldn't catch a cold.
Well, it's somewhat surprising that the Cleveland Indians are the hottest team in the American League. Winners of 8 of their last 10, in second place, and stomping Texas tonight 8-1 in the bottom of the second, and that team hasn't caught the ball all year. But they're starting to come alive offensively.
Well, when you're scoring as many runs as they've been scoring, you're going to win some ball games. But we are a better defensive team than we have shown. Jackson up. Good check. Full count. A run on 2 hits, no errors for our guys. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for their guys.
The 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up as Tyler is battling to get on base to lead off this inning and try to improve on that 1-0 lead. Love to see our hitters work Porcello. The more pitches he throws, the quicker you get into that bullpen. And that has really been a trouble spot all year long for these Tigers.
And that ball hit very hard, but very foul.
The 11th pitch of the at-bat forthcoming.
And there's a good at bat.
Let's take a look at a pitching comparison. And the starters. I've told you that the Tiger starters have been terrific. Our starters have not been as good as they would like to be. The bullpen, however, completely the opposite. The Tigers rank last, and our bullpen just keeps on getting better. 7th in the league with a 3.69 ERA. That being said, you see the starters' ERA since May 20th, and they're getting better.
Now, those Indians, as you mentioned, been scoring some runs. They have Kipnis back, for example, tonight. He's got 3 RBIs. Chisenhall has been swinging the bat extremely well.
He's finally showing what they thought he was when they drafted him #1.
Well, it's always been there. It's just been between his ears. 6 inches between the ears. He's got a homer and 3 RBIs. He's hitting .373. Takes the bunt and he takes the strike. And of course they got old Steady Eddie, Michael Brantley, who's been keeping him in the hunt, so to speak.
Brantley's been by far the most consistent producer of that team, and now Santana's back healthy again, so they're slowly putting things together.
And that's a chopped hard foul down past Joe McEwing.
Joe goes through his set of signs. Porcello taking a little too much time for Adam Eaton, so he calls time, acknowledged by Jeff Nelson. And it appears to have startled Porcello, who is almost in his windup.
When pitchers take that much time for an umpire, I'd give the hitter anything he wanted, leeway-wise. He gets back in there. So that is 1 out.
Adam breaks his bat. Doesn't get a whole lot of it. And a good job of running by Tyler Flowers. Last thing a coach usually tells any base runner is make the line drive go through.
It certainly should be one of the last 2 things. Either or, check your outfielders and make the line drive. Don't get doubled up on the line drive. Here's Beckham. He had a rocket off of Porcello. And there's a fair ball. Good call by Mike Everett. He was in the air. And now they're going to hold up Tyler. The good thing they did. Fans wanted him to try to score. He'd have been a gone goose.
The only way you run with him if this ball gets by Martinez in left field. But when he caught it cleanly, you got to figure he's going to come up and hit the cutoff man, which is what he did. And with only 1 out, Joe McEwing is not going to gamble on this one. Now, if it hits and sticks in there or goes down into the corner, that's another story.
Or, yeah, but even with 2 out, he wouldn't want to gamble right there.
No, well, you can't because he'd have been out by
30 feet.
By plenty, yes.
So here's Gillespie. They're playing the infield back. Ducks on the pond, 1 out. And a chance. A chance. And there's a shot base hit. So Gordon will be held at third as the leadoff walk scores on that good at bat by Tyler Flowers. And it's 2-0.
Gordon did a pretty good job because he doesn't know if Suarez is going to be able to catch this ball or not. It's a slicing line drive. And Connor drives in his 20th run of the year. So Gordon, not wanting to get doubled up, just took a step back You see the slice on the ball.
Well, that's a perfect call there, Stoney, because of the fact even if he had checked his infield, he still couldn't help it. He had to do exactly what he did.
Because you never know if a guy's going to lay out, he's going to make a spectacular catch. The last thing you want to do is get doubled up, taken out of the inning. This way, you're still in great shape because you've got Abreu coming up, and Jeff Jones going to the mound, trying to settle down his young right-hander.
Abreu went out to right field. And this is going to be a double play. Takes him right to the bag. But we add one. We'll go to the fourth, leading 2-0.
Shown on our broadcast later in the game. It's brought to you by AT&T. And you come to the ballpark, you have to have your Big Nate book. Obviously a Nate Jones fan, wondering when he's coming back with his friends.
I left mine on the plane the other day.
The Big Nate book?
Yeah.
It's a good book. Love the plot.
Kelly takes first pitch strike. He fouled out to Tyler Flowers. Cabrera on deck and Victor Martinez in the hole. Oh, and 2 the count.
Hector's been able to pinpoint his fastball tonight, and that's one of the reasons why he's gone through this lineup relatively easily.
Yes, he did. He gone.
After some high heat trying to set him up, he throws that fastball right in by his hands. Kelly cannot check it up. Jeff Nelson did appeal to Mike Everett. He said he swung. And down he goes. Strikeout number 3.
First pitch strike to Cabrera. You get jammed. Hit a fly ball into right field for our Tank. Not to say you can't go away from Cabrera, but the main object you better have in your mind when you go out there and you're facing this guy, you got to try to get him looking inside. That'll give you a little protection from the middle out.
Well, like everything else, if you're going to go out there, make sure if you do miss, you miss wider.
Yeah.
You don't want to take tailing back over the outside corner.
Well, you've been there and done it. You've faced some good ones. That you had to, if you missed, you better miss wide.
In the game yesterday, Cabrera came out of the game. He came up hobbling. He's got a hamstring problem. And eventually he left the game. And they delayed the lineup to see if he was going to be in good enough shape to come on and play tonight. And as it turned out, well, there he is.
Well, that's one reason I love this guy. He wants to play. He has fun playing. He's like a big kid. He wants to play. He wants to play every day. He's played hurt. We have seen that 2 years ago when we were ahead of them. He played. He couldn't hardly walk.
He had 2 bad ankles.
He had both. He couldn't hardly walk.
No,
and he's out there playing.
Yep.
Plus, he has a signing period at home when he's at home before for his fans. He'll go over there on his own and sign autographs for a while. He just does everything right.
And he's done that for a long time.
Wow, we got a 1-1 tie. Excuse that, 2-1. We are. Wow. I'm just looking at that home run.
Home run number 12, RBI number 52. And Miguel got a fastball. He got it thigh high on the inner portion, and he just unloaded on this one. Ford home run replay. He gets almost every stitch of this. He just stands there and takes a look. I actually don't blame him. I think I'd have looked at that myself.
I was looking at it all the way. I know that.
What a blast.
So 2-4-0 for us, 1-2-0 for them. We talk about pitching inside. You can't pitch inside for a strike on it.
Nope.
You have got to be inside. Victor was robbed of extra bases on a brilliant catch by Adam Eaton. And that is high end to left.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed action replay, and it's the play that Adam Eaton made, running it down, long way to go. And if you're out there on the mound, you appreciate a center fielder that can go get your mistakes. And Adam Eaton can do just that.
There's Martinez. Fouls that down. Well, they talk about guys and how much money they're making and everything. To me, Miguel Cabrera is probably the cheapest paid player in baseball, because the guy who's making the most money on your team, he's the cheapest player you got if he earns it, and he certainly earns it.
Do you know what percentage of guys would have been out of the lineup for tonight's game?
Huge, about probably 99. There's a base hit. But the arm, he knows the arm strength of Viciado.
That was a terrific play by Dion. This looked like a guaranteed 2 bases when it left the bat. Martinez hits a bullet to right field. Viciado going over, gets to the ball, finally rights himself, and if he's able to steady his feet, you're not going to run on him. And this could conceivably have saved the run. That was a very good play.
Castellanos takes first pitch strike. That home run by Cabrera, one of the more majestic that we have seen this year. A couple by Abreu earlier were majestic, and that one.
Yeah, if you throw an inside strike, you see a hitter open up like Cabrera did.
Oh, nice timing play and a catch on that soft line drive. Good play by Gillespie, but the home run by Cabrera. We go to the bottom of the fourth, leading 2-1. Home games feature trivia in the Miller Lite Bullpen Sports Bar. Post-game fireworks show set to your favorite music and post-game karaoke. Hello, karaoke. At Shy Sox Bar and Grill, so visit WhiteSox.com/Fridays.
Connor Gillespie goes up about as high as he can go up and saves a two-base hit and possibly a run. There was pretty strong defense that inning from both Viciedo and Gillespie.
So here's Adam talking about majestic home runs. He hit one the other night.
That home run into the bullpen went a mile.
Woo. Takes ball one. Adam struck out his first trip. Now 7 for 23 lifetime. Oh, Porcello. That evens the count.
Got a hanging curveball, and Adam just swung through it.
Got the big shift on. Got him on a breaking ball.
It's a pretty good curveball. Adam thought it was down. That's a good portion of the plate. You can see from the side angle it came in up top of the knee.
Here's Alexei, struck out on a 3-2 fastball. That ball hit high and deep, but dadgummit, he just missed it.
Picked on the first pitch. He got one right down the middle. There's a rolling curveball and a mistake. Porcello was very fortunate to be able to get away with it. Looks he thought it had a chance. Comes up a bit short.
Well, here's Tank. Tank fouled out to Avila. Big rip right there by Tank.
You got a fastball, outer third. Vicino likes the ball down. Good swing, just no contact. Or certainly not enough.
That ball's killed right at him. And it gets by him. That ball was absolutely killed.
I think Martinez thought he had it. And it's E7. Porcello gets that sinker up. And Martinez just misses it.
That's what you call a whiff. That's a whiff.
It is a whiff. Yes.
That ball would hit so hard. Let's make them pay. Come on, Alejandro. Alejandro for one. He went out to Martinez and left. Takes a breaking ball strike. Just more or less shoved it out there. And it gets off the glove, and it's going to be everybody's safe.
There's an example of what Cabrera has done on occasion, and now Victor Martinez did that time, which is range too far to his right. This is a very easy play for Kinsler. And that ball just bounces up. You see where Kinsler is in your picture. He's pretty much standing there. But it keeps the inning alive. And it's a second Tiger error.
For most guys who don't play and have not played in their careers a lot at first base, which he's played quite a few times over there. It primarily was a catcher came up, but that's what they have a tendency to do. Range too far to their right. Make them pay. Here's Tyler. He had a beautiful at bat leading off last inning. He walked, came around to score. Saw a lot of pitches, so that should bode well.
Joe McEwing, I'm pretty sure, probably said if he throws him a curveball, he's been thrown a lot in the dirt, so be heads up.
Yeah, it was a 7 for 11 in stolen bases. Over to first, so we get a couple of errors by the Tigers. can't take advantage of it, but we still lead it 2-1.
An analysis and follow the action with White Sox in-game live on CSNChicago.com. It's brought to you by Comcast Business Class.
Top of the 5th inning. Our guys lead it 2-1. It'll be Jackson, Avila, and Suarez, the lower third of their order. Jackson 0 for 1, lined out hard. Caviciedo in right field. First pitch strike.
For years, Jackson was a leadoff hitter, but he struck out a whole lot. Now he's hitting where he probably should, because he's a good base stealer, and you don't worry about on-base percentage near as much in the 7th spot as you do at the top. This is one guy you certainly don't want to walk. He's second on the team in stolen bases.
Low throw. Stayed with it. Does Abreu. So 1 out. Well, Austin Jackson, you know, when you look at 2012, Cabrera, 330, 44 homers, 139 RBIs at fielder. They don't win the division without Austin Jackson in center field or somebody comparable to him. A regular center fielder, they don't win it.
No, well, that center field is so difficult. It's so much room to roam that you better be able to go get them. And Jackson has always been able to do that.
Well, they didn't have very much defense in the outfield except for him.
No.
In 2012.
He was a defense.
He must have lost 15 to 20 pounds that season covering center, right center, and left center.
That's one of the reasons why they made the trade with the Yankees. Granderson going to the Yankees and Austin Jackson coming to Detroit. Granderson was a good player and a home run hitter. But he couldn't play center field as well as Jackson, and Jackson has done a terrific job, even when he's not stinging the baseball.
1-1 to count to Alex Avila. Had their first hit with 1 out in the 3rd inning. Had to shift on, and he had squibbed one. Change up right off the end of the bat. Left side. That's questionable. Close.
Could have gone either way and went Avila's way.
That one at 93. 2-2.
Avila leads this team in strikeouts. He's fanned 25% of the time, which is somewhat surprising.
Full count.
Fairly low pitch total so far for Noesi, who has not walked anybody to this point.
There you go. 2 down.
Good straight change on 3-2. Took just the right amount off. He had Avila well out in front of it. That pitch has been one of the big difference makers for Hector.
Here's Eugenio Suarez. He struck out. He saw a lot of pitches though in that first at bat. That rolling curveball hit deep in the left field. Stay in here. And it's a 2-2 tie.
Suarez has hit 2 home runs now. This is only the 4th game he's played. And this guy is their defensive wizard. They didn't know if he'd be able to hit. Ford home run replay. It's a rolling breaking ball. He's kind of stayed there, didn't do much. And Suarez now has hit 2 home runs and driven in 4.
They have 2 home runs. A bomb from Cabrera, and then that one by Suarez. And here's Kinsler. Twice he has gone out to Eaton in center. Pretty good pitch, didn't get it. Kinsler, 3-time All-Star with the Rangers in 8, 10, and 12. Noesi gets that one. And it's 2-1. Gets that one too. 2-2.
You keep getting that pitch, you best stay out there because that one is off the plate by a good 3 inches. You can see that 4th pitch, which was a called strike off the plate. That last pitch was a good pitch.
Just did get a piece of it. Hit him on the fist, pops him up. And Gillespie makes the catch, but the mistake by Noesi is hit out of here by Suarez. We're halfway home, tied at 2. As we get set to go to our half of the 5th inning in this 2-2 tie. It'll be the top of the order. Eaton, Beckham, and Gillespie. Face 25-year-old right-hander Rick Porcello. Breaking ball strike.
Martinez over toward the line in left field. A little more shallow than he was last time when Adam dumped one in front of him.
And the count 0-2. Adam led it off the bottom of the first with that triple. And scored. He's 1 for 2.
That last pitch was his cutter, but he didn't get a whole lot on it.
And that ball slashed into left. And it is foul.
Martinez is not having the best of evenings. That time he made a valiant attempt, but that ball kind of accelerated over his head. They ask him if he's okay because he nicked himself up right there, hitting his left knee.
That pitch was high, and he calls him out.
There's no way that Adam can go up there and even think about hitting that pitch. But he gets rung up.
Oh, boy. There's Gordon. He is 2 for 2, an RBI single and a double. Well, Jeff Nelson's a good umpire. He's not going to get every one of them right. He got that one wrong, but he's not. Any umpire's not going to get every one of them right. It's a good crew. That ball hit hard. Get over his head. It will. And so one hopper into the seats for the ground rule double.
It's one of those nights for J.D. Martinez where ball either just barely gets over your head or sinks in front of you or slices around you. And Gordon crushes this ball. He gets it right down the middle. It's supposed to be a cutter. Doesn't cut much. And this one just barely eases over the head of Martinez. Doesn't miss it by much, but he misses it.
Well, you have those nights as an outfielder, just like those great catches, that series that Aaron Rowan had at Yankee Stadium. You got to have the opportunity, and he took advantage of it. He made the great catches. Then you have nights like JD's having out there in left field.
Everything's just out of reach.
Everything is just out of your reach. About this time of night, JD's taking this up. Please don't hit any more out here to me. Gillespie, 1 for 2, that RBI single, knocking in Flowers in the 3rd inning. And that's in the hole, base hit. They're going to wave him around. Kelly with the throw, not nearly in time, and the Sox take a 3-2 lead. Yes.
RBI number 21. The arms in the Tiger outfield are not overwhelming. And so there was no doubt that Joe McEwing was going to send Gordon Beckham. They were going to test the arm of Kelly. And Gordon scores easily.
Well, here is Abreu is going out to right and then hit into a 6-3 double play. Short lead by Connor. Checks it up. That ball hit high, deep. Jackson goes back. He looks up. You can put it on the board. Yeah. Yeah. And it is 5-2 Sox.
18
El
home runs.
Cañon.
49th driven in. And a no-doubter. Our fourth home run replay, the first home run of the night for our Sox. And this stayed in the middle of the plate. It's a slider that doesn't slide. And Jose gets most of it.
The Cannon with his 18th. There's a shot base hit. Big man makes a turn. He's going to mosey on into second base, picking up his 10th two-bagger.
Four hits in a row, and that brings out Jeff Jones once again. You would think he made the call to the bullpen because he could hardly walk any slower out there. He wants to kill some time to get somebody up and ready to go, as Porcello has been rocked here in the fifth.
Three of them absolute missiles.
Yes, indeed. Corey Nebel throwing in the bullpen.
Don't stop now, boys. Alexei 0 for 2. Last time up, he just missed one. Caught it just enough on the end of the bat, taking Martinez back on the track and left. Five, 8-0 for us. 2, 4, and 2 for them. Another nice pick by Avila. That's outside. 3-0. Turn him loose. Oh, he just missed that one. 2 down.
He got the 3-0 green light. And he got one up and over the middle of the plate. And he's most unhappy with himself because he knew he got very much of a hit of a pitch.
That's 1/32 of an inch from being a 2-run home. Here's Vistieto. He's 0 for 2. Last time he just hit a missile right at Martinez at left. He whiffed on it. Take strike 1.
He's been, if not a one-man gang, close to it against the Tigers this year. 440 in the 7 previous games played.
Yeah, there was a professor at MIT back when I was with the Red Sox. And got a letter. He said that those balls that you say just missed, evidently he figured it out. When they go over the shortstop's head at a certain height, that's 1/32 of an inch from being a home run. Two out, 1 and 2. 3 in here in the bottom of the 5th. Checks it up. Of course, with that home run by the cannon, White Sox charities get more money from the Alex Nelius family in loving memory of Ursula. And a full count. And a payoff pitch. Boy, he had a hack at that one too. I tell you, he looks like he's a little hitterish tonight.
He got a straight change.
He's putting some good swings.
Well, you had to protect that one. Was on the outside corner.
Yeah, he's putting some real good passes on it. Tank hitting .288, 2 homers, 18 RBIs with men in scoring position this year. Gap out there in left center. High, get out. Come on, get out. He makes the catch, but a 3 spot goes up on that board. We'll go to the 6th, leading 5-2. Kelly, Cabrera, and Martinez here in the Tiger half of the 6th inning. 5-8-0 for our guys. 2-4-2 for their guys. Kelly has fouled out to Flowers and struck out on a check swing. That evens the count at 1. First of 4 if you're just joining us. These guys, and first of 9 here on this 10-day homestand. 4 of these guys, 3 with Kansas City, and 2 with San Francisco after an off day on Monday. So, nice homestand for you. Make your plans to be with us here at the ballpark. Get over there. No, he'll take it himself. Yeah, that's a good habit he is into. Take it yourself. Keep the pitcher out of the play.
It's at any play that you have in that infield, the fewer times you can throw the baseball, the better off you're going to be. And if the answer is none, well, then take it.
So many first basemen, they catch it, and the further they look up to see where the pitcher is. So here he is, Cabrera. He's 1 for 2. First time up, got jammed, flied out. It's a tank in right field. The second time up, here's what he did.
He got a low fastball, and he knew that it was just a question of how far it was going to go. Because he stood and looked, and he doesn't do that too often.
Well, Dave Ross, our associate producer, did some research and came up with some numbers. So far in his career, coming into this new contract, he had made $138 million. Now, he's just turned 31 years old. Made $138 million. There's a base hit. That's where he's just so smart. He really is. He's the smartest hitter in the game, and one of the smartest I've ever seen. But when this current contract is up, he's got $262 million more. So he will have made a total of $400 million with 2 options years after this contract is up for $60 million more. So he's got a chance to make close to $500 million playing this game.
Well, you don't find the talent he had and the early recognition of that talent come along too often.
Well, as I said, to me, he is one of, if not the cheapest paid player in the game, because he earns, according to the scale, he earns every penny of it. What kills you in this game are guys who are making a lot of money who don't earn it. And there's a bullet. But they make it because of arbitration.
That's certainly a big factor. I remember being in on some of the early meetings with Marvin Miller, who was the head of the Players Association, the head of the union. And he cautioned us at the time, they will give you 4-year free agency and want to extend arbitration 1 year. You'll never trade free agency for a longer time to get to arbitration.
That ball hit high and deep to right field. And it's a 5-4 ball game.
Home run number 15, and now 40 driven in for Victor Martinez. The 3-4 combination that these Tigers have are about as good as anybody's around.
Well, they're probably the best. They're certainly the best in this league, in the American League, and probably in the National League well. But they still are not as good as David Ortiz and Manny Ramirez.
That was our 4th home run replay. That's the 11th home run Victor Martinez has hit from the left side. And he's a better right-hand hitter. He just gets hit much more frequently as a lefty.
And there's a shot by J.D. Martinez. So they're teeing off on the Wessie here, like we did Porcello.
And the Sox bullpen up and going for the first time tonight. That'll bring Don Cooper out to do for the Sox, what Jeff Jones did for the Tigers is give that bullpen a chance to get loose. Jake Petrichka loosening up as quickly as he can.
Yeah, that's a pretty outstanding 3-4 combo. And it just goes to show you, like we were discussing a couple innings ago, Cabrera had to come out of the game yesterday with that bad hamstring. He knows what a big series this is. He is right back in there tonight.
And fortunately for him, he had a home run where he could trot, and then watched a home run when he got a base hit where he could trot again. So as the designated hitter, he hasn't had to run yet to test that tweaked hamstring.
Castellanos is 0 for 2. Grounded out to Alexei, and then a soft line drive that Gillespie made a nice timing leap and catch on. Here you go. 2 down.
Castellanos now 0 for 3 as he threw a fastball right by him. That ball painted the outside corner.
Yeah, he had that one. That's a B pitch right there.
No walks, and that's fortunate because 3 home runs.
There's Austin Jackson. He's lined out to right and grounded to third. And the count 3-0.
Now Scott Downs also getting loosened up in a hurry. Alex Avila is the man in the on-deck circle.
Come on, guys, we got to keep grinding right here. So the first walk of the ball game. And Sox fans, all season long, you score with Papa John's Pizza. When the Sox score 5 or more runs, you get 50% off your entire online order at papajohns.com with the promo code SOX5 the following day. So that's tomorrow, because we got 5 up on that board right now. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
And that is going to be it. So Noesi will depart. He still got the lead, but he's responsible for the 2 men on. And here comes Scott Downs. We'll step out and be back after these messages. Sportsnet and The Drive for a couple of baseball viewing parties. Come to Buffalo Wild Wings in Skokie on Tuesday and Mount Prospect on Wednesday for a chance to win one of 50 pairs of tickets to The Drive's 13th birthday concert starring Peter Frampton and Cheap Trick. It's baseball, music, and good times, all brought to you by Comcast Sportsnet and The Drive. And Scott Downs comes in to face Alex Avila. Downs on for the 31st time. ERA 5 3/4.
So 2 in, 2 on, 2 out. Our guys lead at 5-4, and here is Alex Avila, who is 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout. Avila has faced Downs 5 times and has 1 hit. Cardinals has beaten Minnesota 5-4. Count evens at 1. Beckham's got him. And it'll retire the side, but the 2-run homer by Victor Martinez. We lead it by 1. Bullpen challenge. Now the semifinal round of the broadcast bullpen challenge continued earlier today with 670 to score. Co-host Lawrence Holmes taking on B96, the Jay Show host Jay Nice. So visit whitesox.com/bullpen bracket to see the challenge brackets and learn how to vote. Diaz, Flowers, then back to the top of the order with Adam Eaton here in our half of the 6th inning. 5-8-0 for our Sox, 4-7-2 for their Tigers. There's the bunt. That's a good one. And he throws it away.
That's just a very poor decision by Porcello because you might as well concede the base hit. It's single E1. A terrific bunt. And an off-balance, very awkward throw by Porcello. Does a great job of getting it down. And that one isn't anywhere close to Martinez at first. You see him trying to shift the grip as he caught the ball barehanded. That's a third Tiger error of the night, and that's going to be it for Porcello. Brad Ausmus is coming out. He's already pointed to the pen. So Porcello will go 5+ and depart this one, and we'll step out and be back after these messages.
June 14th, will receive a White Sox cap presented by the Private Bank. The Private Bank, we solve for X. Purchase your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME.
And a new pitcher coming in, and you can take your choice of Corey Knebel or Corey Knebel. Either way, he's got a 9.64 ERA. And this will be his 5th game. So with nobody out, a good chance to add an insurance run or two in what has become a very close ball game, courtesy of Victor Martinez.
Well, we saw it on Saturday at the Big A in Anaheim with Tyler.
Yeah, he was able to sacrifice, so we know he can do it.
Got to get that man over the third. Tyler been scuffling a little bit lately. And when you're scuffling a little bit,
yep,
got to find a way to get it done. Tyler had a terrific at bat in the 3rd inning, leading off. Walked, seeing a lot of pitches, and then came around to score our 2nd run. Then in the 4th, he grounded out Castellanos. So here we go. The Ayes with that beautiful bunt. The throwing error by Porcello. Stands on second base. Nobody out. Takes ball 1.
Tigers infield expects Tyler Flowers to hit the ball to the right side because they're covering at second with Suarez, a shortstop. Now they're going to cover at second with Kinsler.
One. There he was. Robin gave him a shot and put it on. 2 balls and a strike.
Ian Kroll loosening up in the pen.
Naperville. Meanwhile, 2-2 the count. And it is full.
Good solid breaking ball. And for a young pitcher coming in, that's, I don't mind walking you, with a 3-2 count.
He would have walked him. So here's Adam. Tripled in the first inning. He's 1 for 3. He also scored.
That was a real good pitch and he didn't get it.
He's got the catbird seat 2-0. That one at 94. And it was up out of the zone. Beckham on deck.
Gordon's had a big night. Looking to improve on that.
Yeah, no duck snorts in those 3 hits.
Nope.
Still in command, Adam. 2-1. 2-2 pitch. There's a chopper in the hole. He's being waved around. It's throw way off the mark, and it's a 6-4 Sox lead. That'll be.
This ball is top of the zone, a rolling curveball upstairs, and RBI number 18 for Adam, his second hit of the night. And it just barely squeaks by. And Joe McEwing is going to run every chance he gets on every one of these outfielders.
Yeah, the operative words there was squeaks by.
It did. I heard it squeaking as it went by.
Beckham has hung out 3 ropes. 1 single, knocking him Eaton in the first, a double in the third, a double and a run scored in the 5th. Average up to 301. And a good pass at that one. Well, when you play the Tigers, the key phrase when you're getting ready to start the game is, let's get in that bullpen.
That's been the mantra this year, as that pen has been very shaky, and they're looking for any kind of combination they can possibly get.
Today's Major League culture is it's a battle of bullpens. Two and one. These college coaches got to be teaching these guys to take at least 20 to 25 seconds.
Yeah, take your time.
At least. That's what they're teaching now. Got to be. That ball hit hard. Nice play, and they're going to turn it. But what a beautiful play right there by Ian Kinsler to save a first and third one-out situation. Meanwhile, we come up with one. We'll go to the 7th, leading 6-4. University of Chicago Medicine Comer Children's Hospital. Now, tickets start as low as $5 and parking is just $10. So purchase your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com/Sunday or 866-SOX game.
Jake Petrichka coming in the ball game. And there is a look at Jake. On for the 26th time. 1.65 ERA. And he's got a 2-run lead to protect. And it's only 2 runs because of a spectacular play on Gordon Beckham, robbing him of his 4th hit. Ian Kinsler with a big effort. And then Suarez able to get out of the way after he makes the tag. And it's 2. That had a chance to be a very big inning.
Indeed it did. That ball was scalded by Beckham. As here is Suarez. He's 1 for 2, a homer. His 2nd home run. It's just being called up. Eugenio Suarez, 22 years old.
We showed you the flags early in the ball game. No wind at all. Well, that was early. And now the wind is blowing out toward right center. And the Tigers are hoping that the man you're looking at is the answer for shortstop. Because after the 4-year deal afforded Johnny Peralta by St. Louis, they've been looking for an everyday guy and haven't found him yet.
Two and two the count. One out. So here's Kinsler. Ian 0 for 3 tonight. Fly balls to center field. And a foul out to Gillespie. Outfield for the most part straight up, spread out about equidistant. He takes first pitch strike.
That fastball at 96. So Jake must be feeling pretty good tonight.
Well, he was hitting 97 the other night. Regularly. That one at 96.
Zach Putnam getting ready just in case. And what a job he's done out of the pen. The whole bullpen has been very good over the last few weeks.
That's been a little longer than that since Belisario got him started. They were struggling, really struggling. He came out, started throwing strikes, getting guys out, and everything's contagious. The rest of them started coming out, throwing strikes and getting guys out. Since then, they've been good.
And now Belisario has moved to the closer role.
Well, that stuff he had in L.A. was exciting.
I sure hope that he can bring that to the mound next time he's called on to close and if things hold this way, we're going to see him tonight.
Well, that ball was just exploding out of his hand. It's funny how some guys can go out there and throw 97 and the ball comes out of their hand very nicely. Other guys throw 97, it just explodes out of their hand. It's got movement, everything, right off the bat.
Ronald has as much movement as anybody, maybe in the league.
Beckham. Oh, he came up on him. He stayed with it, made the play. Yes. 1, 2, 3 inning. Good play, Gordon. 7th inning stretch. We lead it 6-4. Features the latest in Sox apparel and souvenirs. So stop by the Chicago Sports Depot located in Gate 5 to get your popular 1983 Sox merchandise and support your favorite hometown teams. So call 312-674-5-SOX for more information.
Ian Kroll comes into the game with no record, but a pretty good 2.14 ERA on for the 31st time. Well, it helps to have a lefty that can get the ball over the plate, and as you can see, 4 walks in 21 innings. Kroll has been very good for them. And he lives just down the road.
0-1 the count to Gillespie. He was 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. Out evens.
A whole lot of production out of the top part of the order tonight.
Gensler, nice little backhand underneath. So 1 out. Here's Abreu. He's 1 for 3. And here's the cannon back in the 5th inning.
This is the majestic number 18. Putting him within 1 of the 50-run batted in mark.
Breaking ball down and in. Count evens at 1.
Shanks that one. Look, is that sweet?
There's a big hurt shot. So El Cañon and the big hurt, they can do that too.
$14 doubles. Doesn't get a whole lot of it, but hits it in a perfect spot. It's a high fastball.
I still get asked about that home run that he hit back on May 14th, a 3-run shot in Oakland. That's the fastest I've ever seen a ball leave the ballpark.
He got the pitch in a similar spot that Cabrera got tonight.
Yeah.
He got one low and in.
Yeah.
Opened up, hit it perfectly. And it was a line drive rocket.
Adam takes first pitch strike. Adam 1 for 3, a double. Another breaking ball and the count 0-2. You know, you were talking about strong home run hitters. And you talk about strong home run hitters that the ball comes off their bat a little different than other strong home run hitters.
Well, we saw that in spring training.
Yeah, I mean, just that's where the cannon came up. It comes off his bat like it was shot out of a cannon. You take a Dave Winfield. He could hit some shots to get out of the ballpark just like that. Big Frank, when he hit them, most of the time they were just gone. Way back. A guy like Dave Kingman, who hit a lot of home runs.
Well, he hit the towering variety of home runs because he had a huge uppercut swing.
Yeah.
Dave Winfield was a line drive hitter. Just hit his line drives went out of the ballpark.
Like Big Frank. Frank, that's all Big Hurt was. He was a line drive hitter, could hit 500-foot line drives. Full count. And there's ball 4. That'll bring Alexei up. Alexei 0 for 3 tonight. He's due. Last time up, he just missed one. 3-0 count. Robin gave him the green light. Just underneath it. First pitch strike. Come on, Alexei. Knock him in. Two down. Ducks on the pine. And that'll bring up Viciado.
You would think that this would be 4 and go to first base. What the odds to do up next? Let's see what Brad Ausmus wants to do.
Either that or well, they just go ahead and put him on. Besides that, Ausmus has seen Viciado have some real good swings tonight.
Evan Reed getting loosened up in the pen.
And that'll load him up.
And now for our AT&T Uverse multi-view. Good speed at first.
There's Alejandro. He's 1 for 3. Had a beautiful bunt single. Came around to score last inning.
And we got a pinch runner. Moises Sierra. Take over defensively and with a whole lot more speed at first base.
So here we go. Tops that one over by the Tiger dugout.
He laid down a perfect bunt last time, and on the play, Rick Porcello barehanded it, threw it away, and that was the last throw he made tonight.
Backs it up with another fastball at 93. Count evens at 1. Yeah. Ian Kroll on top of ball and 2 strikes. Hang with him, Alejandro. That's into center field. That's a can of corn for Austin Jackson. So we're going to strand 3 more. And we will go to the 8th leading 6-4.
Photo for a chance to be shown on our broadcast, brought to you by AT&T. And Moises Sierra stays in the game, play right field. They're coming on to pinch run. Second inning of work for Jake Petrichka. Had to deal with the heart of the order.
Indeed he does. Cabrera, Martinez, and Martinez. Miguel was 2 for 3, a homer, a single, and he scored a couple of runs. Takes first pitch strike at 94. One of the reasons I love to watch this guy hit is that he makes adjustments, mental adjustments from pitch to pitch. Not so much moving around in the box. He cheats mentally on it.
Well, he had a real good idea last time up that Noesi was going to pitch him away. And he just gave up the idea of power and just hit a ground ball.
That's what makes him a great
hitter.
hitter.
The vacated right side.
Well, as I said it many times, best 3 right-handed hitters in the last 50 years come in the American League have been not so much in order. And a man who's going into Cooperstown next month, our big hurt, Manny Ramirez and Miguel Cabrera.
Pretty good threesome.
And all 3 of them were the smartest hitters. The first 8 years, Frank Thomas was the best right-handed hitter I've ever seen for 8 years. He gone.
Threw a changeup and it fooled him. Well, when you're looking at 96, 95, and then you see 188 on the outside corner, it'll get a few of them.
Well, he's now 0 for 3 lifetime off Jake. Jake's got that motion some guys just have a little trouble with.
Jake's also got very good stuff.
Oh, you know, we saw it in the spring. It's like, who is this guy?
Good stuff.
Victor was robbed of extra bases on a gorgeous play by Adam Eaton, deep into right center field, leading off the second inning. And then he hit that 2-run homer in the 6th. Jake's got a good makeup, too. He's got a good makeup. Get foul. Get foul. Fair ball. That'll be a ground rule double. That's his 15th two-bagger.
Well, on a night where he hit his 15th home run, he gets his 15th double, and here comes Robin. So that will most likely be it. And Jake will depart. We'll step out and be back with Zach Putnam after these messages.
game. You can wish someone a happy birthday, congratulations, a happy anniversary, and much more. All proceeds benefit White Sox charity. So visit whitesox.com/scoreboard.
And Zach Putnam will come into the ball game. What a run he's had. ERA of 1.52 on for the 18th time. Well, you look at some pretty impressive numbers. Opponent's hitting 188. He's allowed just one home run. He inherits Victor Martinez at second base. And a birthday celebration. And good seats to boot.
So here's J.D. Martinez. 2 for 3 tonight. Takes first pitch strike. At 85.
Zach's got a very good splitter. That's been his out pitch, but he said he's also come up with a cutter that has helped keep some of the hitters off the splitter.
Going to the count. 6-11-0 for our guys, 4-8-3 for their guys. As you look, Bottle has been good, very good.
The appeal to Las Diaz, and he says no.
No chance on that one. Count hangs at 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 26-year-old. Close pitch, didn't get it.
Throws a splitter and doesn't get the benefit of the call.
He gone. 2 down.
That time he got that splitter up a little higher. And when the bottom drops out, Martinez is on top of it.
So here's Castellanos. They go for 3. He's grounded to short. Got a little soft line drive that Gillespie made a nice timing jump to make the catch, and he struck out. Fouls that one away. Count 0-2.
Nice play keeping it in front by Tyler.
The biggest thing you want to do right now is Just don't want to turn this lineup over. It's a big out.
You don't really need a strike.
All right, reset it. That's down and in. He wouldn't bite. First to 4. Tomorrow night, Johnny Danks against Dustin Verlander. Wednesday, Rienzo against Smiley, and Thursday, Chris Sale against Max Scherzer. Right here, just got a piece of it. And tomorrow's game, if you can't make it to the ballpark, over Comcast Sportsnet. Wednesdays will be over WCIU. Thursday, back here on Comcast Sportsnet. Tomorrow night we're going to be on Plus, Comcast Sportsnet Plus. He gone. Good job by Putnam. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, leading 6-4.
Bottom of the 8th inning as the Sox look for some insurance. They're going to have to do it against a hard-throwing right-hander. And it's Evan Reed, who's on for the 24th time. His ERA, a high 4.44. And you can see left-handers have just pounded him to the tune of 341.
So here we go. 6-4. Our guys on top. It'll be Flowers and back to the top of the order with Eaton and Beckham. Cleveland top the 8th inning down at Arlington, beating Texas 17-6.
I like their chances in that one.
Lonnie Chisenhall is 5 for 5 with 3 home runs and 9 RBIs.
Wow. For some guys, that's a very good week. Other guys, it's a remarkable month, let alone one game.
Got his average up to 385. 9 ribbies. Did not check it up, and the count evens at 1. Tyler 0 for 2 with a walk. That walk, as we mentioned, if you're just tuning in, was a terrific at bat leading off the third against Porcello, fighting off a lot of pitches, and then came around to score our second run. That one at 95, and the count 1-2. Baltimore shuts out Jake Peavy and the Red Sox 4-0. Two and 2. Seattle shuts out Tampa Bay 3-0. Tampa Bay 24 and 41. 17 games on.
Pretty amazing. That team just can't score.
One out. So here comes Adam. Adam is 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run score. He got to start it off right. You know, when Adam Eaton, he's our catalyst. When he and Abreu do well, we do well.
Yeah.
It's contagious.
His team wasn't the same when he went on the disabled list.
Not at all.
It's
It's
completely
different
different ballpark.
personality. Different personality when Adam was on the DL.
He said there's a lot of production out of the top, and the top 4 in the lineup, 9 for 16. 5 extra base hits, 6 driven in, 4 runs scored. That will usually get the job done. Over that being said, 3 Tiger homers have kept them in the game.
Adam's infectious. He makes things happen. Makes everybody a little better. That attitude, that grit, and that don't quit mindset. Six, 11-0 for us, 4, 8-3 for them. Slaps that one. Going foul. Get out of here.
He's got it.
He made the catch. What a play by Martinez. That is a beautiful, beautiful catch by J.D. Martinez.
Well, J.D. waited all game and had the ball land in front to each side and over his head just barely. But that time he stayed right with it, and the ball was there when he got to the stand. This is a good play, good concentration. And he takes that fan and just gives him a good shot.
Well, when you're that close to that short fence out there and that concrete,
that is tough.
And you stay with it like that, that's a beautiful catch.
He did that twice tonight.
Gordon has hit it right on the money 4 times this evening. RBI single in the first, a double in the third, a double and a run scored in the fifth. Then he hit into a double play, 4-6-3 that Kinsler just made a terrific defensive play on. For their guys in the top of the ninth, be the lower third of the order: Jackson, Avila, and Suarez, the scheduled hitters. One and two the count. That one at 97, low and away. Gordon put a good pass on that one. That one at 96. Gordon, get on for Gillespie. Got him, so a 1-2-3 inning, and we're into the ninth, leading 6-4.
Time brought to you by Miller Lite, and it's our Miller moment, and came back in the fifth inning. It was a 3-run fifth, highlighted by a 2-run homer, number 18, off the bat of Jose Abreu. He's now driven in 49, and it sets off the fireworks. And Jose, after some brief struggles, is back. And so is Ronald Belisario. Now for the 28th time. ERA's been shrinking recently. 5 for 8 in save opportunities, and here's another one.
There's a big out, always the first out. Austin Jackson is lined out to right, grounded to third, and walked. Takes ball one. The strike is 94 to even the count at 1. Right center field. Stay with it. Yes.
He missed it.
No, he missed it. Dadgummit, thought he had it.
He lost that ball in the lights.
Yeah, he did.
Sierra closed ground and was actually there to make the play, and I believe at the last minute he just lost it. You see it there. He turns away, and he did exactly that. It was a line drive that didn't get above, but stayed right in the lights.
Yep, he lost it in the lights. Looked like he had it. So a tough break. That'll bring up Avila. Alex is 1 for 3. Takes ball 1. That's into left field. And that's just foul. Thank you. It's tough to catch something you can't see.
Well, he was tracking it, and he got to the spot. But when the ball is moving into the lights, you just have to do what he did. You move your head away and hope it sticks in your glove.
That's into left field. Hit well. So he's going to score, and it's a 6-5 ball game.
Alejandro just overran that ball. And now we're going to see one of the fastest men in the league taking the spot of Avila. And that's Rajay Davis, I believe. And that's exactly who it is. Knows he hasn't got there. And just overran it.
Suarez will be the hitter. He will be trying to get him over. That ball hit deep in the center field, so Rajay Davis is tagging. Here's a throw. It's off the money. And it's out number 1.
Suarez got the job done. He hit that ball deep to center field. And a good effort by Adam Eaton. But Rajay Davis is just too fast, as Dave Clark, the third base coach, is.
Terrific effort by him. So now the infield in for Kinsler. Tying run at third, 1 out. Ground ball, booted. Now
it was off his foot.
Off his foot. Torrey Hunter has come out on deck.
Took the shin guard right off on its way down.
You don't see that very often.
No. He's fortunate that he had that there.
0-2 the count. Slow low, preferably hard up out of the zone. And that's foul.
Mike Everett right on the line. And that was close. It's a hanging slider. Kinsler takes it right down the line. But fortunately not over the bag.
Backhanded by Flowers.
Kinsler does not strike out often. 22 times. 253 at bats.
He gone.
Well, Kinsler doesn't like it. We catch a break, and that's a huge second out. Be able to understand why Kinsler didn't like it. That being said, you got to dodge your way by Torrey Hunter coming on a pinch hit.
Just been calling a high strike all night tonight.
Hunter's only pinch hit one time this year.
Torrey hitting at .268, 9 homers, 32 knocked in. And we have seen him in this scenario too many times in his career and against us. Outfield straight up. And that's chopped foul. And Miguel Cabrera on deck. Tyler's got to be on his toes.
Davis has just tremendous speed. And Torrey lost his footing. He swung so hard.
1-2 the count.
Got to hit that one out of the stadium.
18,803, and most of them on their feet.
Connor Gillespie over toward the line and deep at third. Outfield straight away.
Ground ball, and this ball game is over. What a job by Belisario, pitching over a couple of balls that should have been caught.
5 outs in the ninth, and still Ronald Belisario does what he's been doing, which is make good pitches when he has to. He's got tremendous movement, and Torrey Hunter beat it right into the ground, and it's a 1-run win.
What a job once again.